Hello my friends and viewers, and welcome to Gabriela Stardust's little channel. I do have an information for you my friends, and I want to get it out as soon as I can. So that's what I'm doing here right now, and I try to make it very short so it doesn't take that long for me to upload. NASA has announced to slam a spacecraft into an asteroid which is called Dimorphos. And this will happen on the 24th of November or the latest on the 22nd of January in 2022. So you all remember in my last clip or the clip before my last clip what I told you about the whistleblower and message I received from some friends and also from another channel, and it was Steve Banu who was also reporting on it. I will give you a short update, you know, what will actually happen. The spacecraft is called DART, and Tom Stadler is a DART program scientist in Washington, D.C., and he stated that Dimorphos is the size of a football field, you remember, and DART is the size, the DART is the size of a car, but can cause an impact of 3 tons of TNT when it slams into Dimorphos. Dimorphos is the asteroid, and the smaller satellite of it is called, let me look it up here, I don't want to give you some wrong information. Dimorphos is the big one they want to slam, and the smaller object is called, just a second here, the smaller one is called, it's almost Dimorphos and Didymos. Didymos is the moon which actually orbit Dimorphos, the bigger one. So we know that the size is the size of a football stadium, and I mentioned it already in my other video. A small satellite called Lycia Cube from Italy. So that's one of the European countries who is involved also in this issue or in that matter, will travel prior to the time of impact, but only able to send images down to Earth just to give us an idea of the impact and how successful actually the entire mission will be. It will take DART, the spaceship, 1 year to arrive Dimorphos, and then impact will take place. You all remember when I told you in other video clips a couple of weeks ago, 2 months ago, I think it was, I'm not so sure anymore, it's hard for me to keep track of times, that a 50 to 300 mile object entered actually our solar system and was recorded just months ago. After that, we just heard a little bit more of news where they actually was stating that this object have passed Neptune already. So, but after that, we did not heard anything anymore. At least I did not hear anything about it anymore. Like, you know, it was not there anymore and it have disappeared in the nirvana. All the movements of military equipment from South Dakota, from Ohio, from North Carolina, the military withdrawal from other nations like Afghanistan and other nations where we actually, you know, bring our military people and personnel back to United States, have taken place and is already still in place. It's still going on. The Air Force combat drills very important to mention them. New, also, FEMA tents set up in 47 states. All this, my friends, is not a coincidence. The other thing I would like to mention here, really short, is the withholding of the movie Greenland. After the pandemic took place, which happened, in the end of 2019, when actually the first cases arrived in December here in the United States, before it actually was an outbreak in China, Wuhan. They had this movie already not out, but it was already made. And it took them almost 2 years to bring the movie Greenland out it was not going into theaters, maybe because of the pandemic or for other reasons, who knows. But it's kind of interesting, because I would like to let you know, besides of Greenland, what other movies are coming out right now or are in the theaters already at this moment, which is the Marvel movie, The Eternals. Very interesting, you might want to go and look at it. In October, we will have another movie coming out, and they call it The Warnings. It's a catastrophe movie, and it's also very interesting. I saw the trailer of it already. The same, I saw a trailer of the movie Last Man Down. It's a virus-made movie, which is also very interesting, and it is also coming out by end of September and mid of November, I believe. There's another movie coming out almost at the same time. They call it The Great White. It's a shark movie, which I actually like. I like shark movies. Not the really cheap ones, whatever, but the good ones I really like. And I remember the first shark movies, we have seen back in the 80s, which was really very interesting and very entertaining. Then there's another movie coming out, I think it is by end of October, mid of November, or in the December directions, I'm not so sure. They call it The End of Days. It's another catastrophe movie, and you can see on YouTube already the trailer of that. The other movie who is still running in the theaters right now, and I have seen some trailers already about it. My son saw it already all in full. It's called The Tomorrow War. Is one other movie you should also see. It has something to do with aliens. And it is already running right now, and you can see it on YouTube for free, people screaming it. So what I was going to say, and I have to touch on back here on this asteroid and on the space mission from NASA, which will take 1 year. They said when they send it out in November, latest in January, it will take DART 1 year to arrive this asteroid. And when it arrives, they have, like I said, from Italy, this other little satellite with also will, a similar travel with DART to bring some satellite images back from the impact, which only goes for a couple of minutes, and then it will not work anymore, or it will be destroyed for some reason. So when this travel 1 year, when we send it out on the 22nd of November, and from there it will take 1 year. If you all people can make the math, then you will know traveling on a speed or on a higher speed than we can travel here on Earth. 1 year you can make the math. Where is this asteroid? With this kind of speed in 1 year, I believe the asteroid and his moon, and they call it the binary asteroid system. It's not the binary star system, it's the binary asteroid system. They said, they made a statement, and the statement was made by one of this guy. I think his name was Slater or whatever. They're observing a system over years. It needs to take an observing of a system over years, decades, or even centuries. And it will give us an idea, they said. Oh, it was Paul Wiegert. Paul Wiegert from the University of Western Ontario in Canada. He made this statement. It gives us an idea and an unprecedented opportunity to see how a binary asteroid system and its gravitational influence works on itself, on its moon, and if it is pushed out of its normal orbital pathway, if it would actually return back into its regular orbit. That's kind of interesting why they're thinking like that. When it get a push, and it doesn't matter how hard the push is, it doesn't matter how hard the push is. But if the influence or the impact of this spacecraft have an impact of 3 tons of TNT, even if this thing is big like an, stadium of a football field, it will have some kind of influence on the orbital pathway, I would say. He said, we're about to see what's happening if we slam a golf cart into a stadium. Well, I would say actually nothing unless you have it filled with tons of TNT and speed it up with an immense power to slam it into that stadium, which would be devastating to that part of the world. But we can't compare that thought actually into reality, because the stadium in this case have its own travel speed and is much faster than the golf cart towards it. If you all know how much it would take us to travel, the time to travel to Saturn or Neptune, my friends, you can make the math where this object is and have arrived in 1 year when DART, the spacecraft, arrived and collide with the Morphos, and what will happen and would happen on its orbit, and also to its orbiting moon Didymos. If you want to know where I have to take this information from and where I got the information from, it was taken from MIT Technology today on the 22nd of September. And the other thing is not to forget that actually today an asteroid, I think it is called NI 2021, and it have the size of 1,000 feet in diameter, which passes us and is called by NASA as a nearby passing object. So my friends, let me just add here to it. The whole system of this asteroid, they call it the binary asteroid system. And then they be talking about observing something over years, centuries, and decades. And I think what we see in here and what they're seeing and what is here in our solar system is the binary solar system. We are talking over years already. The observation of NASA and the government and whoever is doing it, they're doing it already over 60 years, almost 70 years. And I think by now is the time it have entered, and this big thing, what we have seen and what they reported a couple of months ago, which is the size of a 550 to 300 mile long unknown object, and it had passed Neptune. I think that's exactly the asteroid that I'm talking about. And they're trying already for a long time to split it, maybe bring it out of the orbital pathway, which goes close and come close to Earth, or is hurtling actually towards Earth. So my friends, and I don't believe actually that NASA, that it will take 1 year to get there. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. With all the data, we have to be very careful. But one thing is certain, that the whistleblower who was talking about it, and I told you already in my other videos days before and weeks before, that this is fact. And it was not a lie. It is just a little different story right now with that what NASA actually has brought out just today or yesterday, I would say. I was just on it today, I saw it today, and it is very fresh. So with that said, my friends, you all stay safe. To all the people who came to my channel and say it is BS, yeah, my friends, you can read it up right now and you can see it by yourself. It is not BS. The only thing what maybe is a little bit different as the story as I brought it out to you, and from the whistleblower who was reporting on it, and also on Israeli news channel Steve Ben-Nun, and the one who have bring it out, they know more about the whole entire story, is the fact that it is not only a test. I don't believe in the test, because therefore everything what they're doing right now, and they're bringing it out right now on the 21st or in January, is very, very fast, and never anybody mentioned in the past a spaceship which they have made to bring it up there and to slam it in an asteroid. That's a totally new story here for me, and I think also for you guys. I love you very much. Go and get some more research. If I hear some more, I will bring it out. And for the people who are saying it is BS, yeah, well, my friends, we will see how much BS it will be. I love you all. Watch the cell phone users when you're driving. Stay safe. Stay prepared. Get prepared. Think time has come to get real. I love you all. See you to another day, another time with my reportings. And I love you, my friends. Thank you for coming.